Hello, Jasmine here from LVL UP Consulting with this week's project management tip of the week. And this week's tip is around the effective use of project status indicators. So, project status indicators, these are a project manager's bread and butter. We use them in all of our dashboarding, our reporting, and particularly from a governance perspective. And it's really an indicator of the health of the project overall, but also all of the status indicators that sit underneath it. So what are those status indicators? Well, the traditional ones are scope, budget, quality, resources. There's probably more, but they're the big ones. And most people traditionally use what we call a RAG status, which stands for red, amber, and green. And just like a normal traffic light system, red is to indicate when things are off track, amber where things are a little bit at risk, and green is everything is on track and going according to plan and within scope and budget and time and all those wonderful things. However, where PSIs can sometimes trip up a project is because they are a very subjective measure a lot of the time. Now, a very mature project management office may have guardrails for how do you choose a particular RAG status for your PSI. However, most are quite subjective, and it really does come down to the project manager or the sponsor to give a rating. And as you might imagine, most people are mainly glass half full type reporters. So we don't like to often put an amber status or a red status. However, my tip today is to challenge you that if you do genuinely feel like something is at risk or it is off track, face into that amber and that red status and tell the truth, put it on there. There's nothing to be afraid of when it comes to putting an amber or red status on a PSI, because in my experience, this is when you get assistance, you get escalation, you get help to bring you back on track, and to have a really effective get to green strategy, and you will get to green eventually. But if you don't report on the real situation, then you'll fly under the radar, and then of course you might go from green to burning red. So use your status indicators well, use them use them to escalate and to communicate your project needs, and you will get back on track, and you will have a very successful project outcome. That is my tip for this week. I will see you next week.